Hey everyone, and welcome back to AI Podcast. I gotta admit, math was never really my strong suit. I remember spending hours just like trying to wrap my head around algebra and geometry. Oh
Oh,
man.
yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling for sure. Math can definitely be pretty intimidating.
Right. But what if there was a way to actually make math, well, dare I say it's fun?
Hmm.
That's what we're diving into today with Math GPT.
Okay.
It's this AI platform that's really like changing the game when it comes to learning and teaching math.
It really is like AI at its best,
Yeah.
using this cutting edge technology to take something that so many people find difficult and make it engaging and accessible.
So Math GPT is not just like a fancy calculator or something,
Right.
right?
Definitely not. It's more like having this interactive tutor that can understand and solve all kinds of math problems from basic arithmetic all the way to advanced calculus.
And it can explain those solutions like in a way that makes sense.
That's the key. It breaks down the entire problem-solving process step by step so you actually understand the reasoning behind each calculation. It's not just about getting the right answer. It's about understanding how you got there.
So it's almost like having a personal tutor right there with you, guiding you through each step.
That's a great way to put it. And what's really cool is that MathGPT personalizes the learning experience. It adapts to each student's level. So let's say you have a student who's struggling with calculus.
Uh-huh.
MathGPT can actually start with the foundational concepts like algebra and trigonometry before moving on to those more advanced topics.
So it kind of meets you where you are and helps you build up your skills from there.
Exactly. It's about providing that right level of support at every stage of the learning process. And it doesn't stop there. MathGPT also has this amazing ability to create videos.
Wait, hold on, videos. How does that even work?
It's really incredible. Teachers can input a math problem or even just a concept they want to explain, and MathGPT will generate an entire explainer video complete with animations and a voiceover.
Whoa, that's amazing. It's like having a mini Khan Academy right at your fingertips.
You got it. But it's even better because teachers can actually customize these videos. They can adjust the pacing, add in their own examples, even choose different voiceover styles.
So it's not just a one-size-fits-all solution.
Nope. Teachers have the power to really tailor the content to their students' specific needs.
That's pretty awesome. It's like putting the control back in the hands of the teachers.
Exactly. It's about empowering teachers to create the best possible learning experience for their students.
I can already see how this could be a game changer in the classroom.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about the students. They now have access to these engaging videos, which can make learning math so much more fun and effective.
It's like bringing math to life, right?
Yes. Instead of just staring at equations in a textbook, students can see the concepts in action, which can really help with understanding.
I bet.
Imagine, for example, a video on quadratic equations.
Okay, I'm following you.
MathGPT could create an animation that shows how changes in the coefficients of the equation actually affect the shape of the parabola.
Oh, wow.
Students could actually visualize the relationship between the equation and the graph, which is incredibly powerful.
Man, I wish I had something like this when I was in school.
I know, right? It could have made those late-night study sessions a lot less painful.
So we've talked about how MathGPT can personalize learning and create these awesome videos. What else can it do?
Well, it also has this huge library of practice problems and quizzes. And get this, it can even generate custom quizzes based on a teacher's specific lesson plan.
Whoa, talk about taking the stress out of test prep.
Right. And it also provides instant feedback so students can learn from their mistakes immediately.
That's so important. It's all about that iterative learning process, right?
Yeah.
Trying, failing, learning, and trying again.
You got it. MathGPT is designed to support that process and help students develop a growth mindset.
So it's not just about getting the right answer. It's about building that confidence and developing those critical problem-solving skills.
Precisely. And
Yeah.
it's doing that by leveraging the power of AI in a way that's both effective and engaging.
It really does sound like MathGPT has the potential to totally change the way we think about math education.
I think so too. It's about making math less intimidating and more accessible for everyone.
Yeah, for everyone.
Yeah, it's really amazing to see how technology can be used to make learning more effective and enjoyable.
I know, right? It's
Yeah.
like we're finally moving past those, dusty old textbooks
Uh-huh.
and embracing a more dynamic way of learning.
And it's not just about making math easier, it's about making it more relevant to students' lives.
Oh, that's a good point. When you can see how math connects to the real world, it becomes a lot more interesting to learn.
Right. Suddenly those equations aren't just abstract symbols anymore. They're tools for solving actual problems.
One thing I'm curious about is we've talked a lot about the benefits for students, but what about the teachers? How is Math GPT changing things for them?
That's a great question and a really crucial aspect. MathGPT is a total game changer for teachers, too. Think about all the time teachers spend grading papers, creating lesson plans, and coming up with engaging activities. MathGPT can automate a lot of that.
That's a huge time saver. It
Yeah.
frees up so much more time for teachers to actually, teach and connect with their students.
Exactly. It's like having this super efficient teaching assistant who's available 24/7. And it's not just about saving time, it's about empowering teachers to be even more effective.
How so?
Well, by providing really detailed analytics on student performance. MathGPT helps teachers quickly identify those areas where students might be struggling.
Oh,
Then they can tailor their instruction to directly address those specific needs.
so it's less of a one-size-fits-all approach and more about providing that personalized support.
Exactly. And remember those awesome videos we talked about?
Yeah.
Teachers can actually use those videos to flip their classrooms.
Left their classrooms. What does that mean?
So basically, students can watch the videos at home, so they come to class already having a good understanding of the concept. Then class time can be used for more interactive activities and discussions.
That's super interesting. It sounds like a much more engaging way to learn for everyone.
It is, and it allows teachers to really dive deeper into the material and work with students on a more individual level.
So essentially, MathGPT is kind of facilitating this shift from passive learning to active learning.
I like how you put that. It's about moving away from that traditional lecture format and creating a more collaborative and dynamic learning environment.
I bet that's a lot more fun for both teachers and students.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just happening in the classroom either. We're also seeing MathGPT being used by parents, homeschoolers, and even adult learners.
Wow, so it really is accessible to everyone.
It is, and I think that's one of the most exciting things about it. It's democratizing access to high-quality math education.
So anyone with an internet connection can potentially benefit from MathGPT.
Exactly. It's pretty amazing, and it's opening up all sorts of possibilities for learning and growth.
We've been talking a lot about the positive impacts, but are there any concerns about AI in education?
That's a valid question. Some people do worry that AI will eventually replace teachers altogether.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of new technology and forget about the human element.
Right, but I think it's super important to remember that AI is ultimately a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. It's up to us to ensure that it's being used in a way that benefits everyone.
So it's not about replacing teachers, it's about empowering them.
Exactly. AI can take care of those more repetitive tasks, like grading and lesson planning, so teachers can focus on what they're best at, building relationships with their students and fostering a love of learning.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about finding that right balance between technology and human interaction.
You got it. And I think MathGPT is a great example of how AI can be used to enhance education, not replace it.
So it's not AI versus teachers, it's AI and teachers working together to create a better learning experience.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
So it sounds like MapGPT is already making a real difference out there in classrooms and beyond.
It really is. We've been talking about all the theoretical stuff, but it's important to look at some specific examples of how MathGPT is actually being used in the real world.
I'd love to hear about that.
Well, you mentioned that pilot program earlier where that high school saw a huge improvement in their math scores after they started using MathGPT.
Yeah, that 30% increase was pretty impressive.
It really was. And when you look closer, you find that the students in that program were really excited about using it. They loved that they could learn at their own pace, get help when they needed it, and not feel embarrassed to ask questions.
Yeah, it definitely takes away that fear of being wrong, which can be a big barrier for a lot of students, especially in a subject like math.
For sure. And the teachers were really happy with the results, too. They saw their student scores go up, and MathGPT saved them so much time on grading and lesson planning.
So it's a win-win for everyone involved.
Absolutely. And it's not just limited to high schools either. We're seeing MathGPT being used effectively in middle schools, elementary schools, and even in college courses.
Wow, so it really can adapt to all these different learning environments.
It really can. And it's not just about formal education either. We're seeing parents use MathGPT to help their kids with homework, and even adults are using it to brush up on their math skills or learn new concepts for their jobs.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It really shows how MathGPT is making math more accessible to everyone, no matter their age or background.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that's so amazing about it. It has this potential to truly democratize access to quality math education.
I'm starting to see why you said that MathGPT is AI at its best.
Yeah, it's taking this incredible technology and using it to solve a real-world problem and make a positive impact on people's lives.
And the fact that teachers can instantly create these videos is a total game changer. They can make custom-made content to help their students students grasp those tough concepts.
It's mind-blowing to think about how different our own education might have been if we had access to something like this back then. Imagine being able to watch a video that explained calculus in a way that you could actually understand.
I probably would have enjoyed math a lot more if that was the case.
Me too. But hey, it's never too late to learn. Maybe we should give MathGPT a try ourselves.
Uh-huh. Maybe we should. But for now, we've got to wrap up this episode. It's been awesome to learn all about Math GPT and how it could revolutionize the way we learn and teach math.
It really has been a great discussion. And it makes you wonder what other amazing AI tools are out there waiting to be discovered.
It's definitely a really exciting time to be following the world of AI. And for our listeners, if you're interested in finding out more about Math GPT, we'll be sure to include some links in the show notes.
And don't forget to tune in next Monday for our next episode. We'll be diving into the world of AI-powered music composition.
Until then, have a great weekend, everyone.